There is a truth that many men have experienced but rarely admit. At some point, you were absolutely convinced that a woman liked you. She laughed a lot, talked enthusiastically, showed interest, and maybe even took the initiative. But in the end, nothing came of it, and you were left wondering where you misread things. This video talks about 5 signs that make many men believe a woman is interested, when in reality, she is not. These are not rare or subtle signals. On the contrary, they appear so often that if you do not understand them correctly, you are almost guaranteed to misunderstand what is really happening. If you have ever moved forward only to feel disappointed, or felt like everything was going really well, and then suddenly stalled, this video will help you distinguish between signals that easily create illusions, simple politeness, and genuine interest. More importantly, you will understand why these signs are so misleading and how to look at them more calmly so you do not make a move at the wrong time. The most important part is at the end of the video, where I will share one very simple but extremely important principle that helps you avoid misunderstandings, no matter how convincing the signals may seem on the surface. And if you want to understand women in a clearer, calmer way, without guessing and without stressing yourself out, subscribe to the channel right now. The content here helps you see what is actually happening, so you no longer have to pay the price for unnecessary illusions. Most men fall into these illusions not because they are naive, but because they read signals while emotionally biased. When you like a woman, your brain starts searching for evidence to confirm that hope. From that moment on, many normal behaviors begin to be interpreted in a way that supports what you want to believe. The first mistake is confusing comfort with attraction. A woman who talks openly, smiles often, or actively engages in conversation does not necessarily have special feelings for you. Many people simply have a friendly communication style with everyone, but when you are expecting something more, you unconsciously attach extra meaning to behaviors that are actually just basic social courtesy. The second mistake is reading signals in isolated moments. A look, a thoughtful question, or a message she sends first can happen for many different reasons. But when you pull these moments out of context and label them as signs, you are creating a story that has not been verified. Real attraction does not reveal itself in a single moment, but through repetition and consistency over time. The third mistake, and the most dangerous one, is ignoring real investment. Many men focus only on words and surface-level attitudes while overlooking what matters more. Does she truly invest time, attention, and priority in you? Someone can be very fun to talk to, but if every interaction only happens when it is convenient, with no clear initiative, that is not a sign of deep attraction. Another reason men often convince themselves incorrectly is the fear of missing out. When you start thinking, if I do not move now, I will lose my chance, you begin rushing to find signs that justify your actions. At that point, you are no longer reading signals to understand the situation. You are reading signals to give yourself permission to move forward. What is important to understand is this: women rarely show interest in a clear, obvious way right from the beginning. They usually keep their emotions at a safe level, observe how you react, and let their behavior shift gradually over time. Because of that, if you cannot tell the difference between politeness, comfort, and attraction, it becomes very easy to assign the wrong meaning to what is happening. The next part will go straight into the 5 signs that create the strongest illusions. These are signals that many men once believed were guaranteed, but in reality do not represent attraction. Each sign will be broken down clearly, explaining why it is so misleading and how to read it correctly so you do not move at the wrong time. The first sign is that she laughs a lot and has very fun, engaging conversations with you. Many men see this as the clearest sign of interest. When a woman laughs often, responds quickly, and talks comfortably, it is easy to believe that you are creating something special. The common misinterpretation is confusing comfort with attraction. The correct way to read this is to ask a more important question. Does she behave this way only with you or with many other people as well? Many people naturally have an open, cheerful, and friendly communication style. When you rely only on the atmosphere of the conversation without comparing her behavior, it becomes very easy to convince yourself of something that is not true. Real attraction usually comes with selectiveness, not general comfort with everyone. The second sign is that she initiates texting or starts conversations first. This sign creates especially strong illusions because in many people's minds, taking initiative automatically means interest. The incorrect way to read it is focusing only on the action itself while ignoring the purpose and depth of the interaction. The correct way to read it is to observe why she is initiating. Is she trying to extend the connection and learn more about you, or is she simply passing time and engaging in casual small talk? If conversations always stay light, never go deeper, and show no emotional investment, then that initiative does not say much. Real attraction usually makes someone want to move closer, not just keep things safely connected. The third sign is that she shows concern, checks in on you, and remembers small details about your life. This sign is very easy to misunderstand because it creates a feeling of being noticed. Many people believe that if a woman remembers things you say and asks about your work or personal life, she must have feelings. The incorrect reading is failing to distinguish between thoughtfulness and emotional investment. Some people are naturally attentive, detail-oriented, and caring toward others as part of how they communicate. The correct way to read this is to look at priority. Does she set aside specific time for you? Or does she only show concern when it is convenient? Real attraction often comes with creating personal space for you, not just general kindness. The fourth sign is close and relaxed body language. Sitting close, not pulling away, occasional light touch, or turning her body toward you can easily make you feel like you are in a special safe zone. The incorrect reading is assuming that any physical closeness automatically carries emotional meaning. The correct way to read it is to observe initiative and consistency. Does she actively create that closeness, or is she simply comfortable when the situation naturally allows it? And when you create a bit of distance, does she try to maintain the connection? Body language only has meaning when it comes with clear intent, not when it is just random comfort. The fifth sign is that she reacts when you talk to other people. This is the sign that creates the strongest illusion because it directly touches the feeling that you matter. A bit more attention, a slight shift in attitude, or curiosity when you mention someone else can easily be interpreted as jealousy. The incorrect way to read this is jumping to conclusions based on a momentary reaction. The correct way to read it is to look at what happens afterward. Real attraction leads to more concrete actions. Increased investment, efforts to get closer to you, or a clear change in how she interacts. If the reaction stops at a brief emotional response, that is not a strong enough sign for you to move forward. The common thread across all 5 of these signs is that they can all appear without any real attraction behind them. They only become dangerous when you read them through hope and the fear of missing out. When you learn to focus on repetition, level of investment, and behavior over time, these illusion-creating signals lose their power. And at that point, you no longer need to guess. After reviewing these 5 signs, the most important thing is not how many times you have misunderstood in the past, but how you choose to respond from now on. Many men do not fail because they are not attractive enough, but because they move forward based on signals that are not strong enough, putting themselves into a passive position that leads to disappointment. The core principle to remember is this: never make a decision based on a single sign. one isolated behavior can come from personality, circumstance, or communication habits. Only when multiple signs appear together, repeat over time, and most importantly, come with clear investment. Do you have enough information to trust your perception? When you read signals this way, you do not need to guess, and you do not need to reassure yourself with hope. A very common mistake is that once people notice a few signs, they quickly change their behavior. They text more, show more attention, or try to push the pace of the connection forward. But the truth is this: if the feelings are real, they will not disappear just because you slow down slightly. On the contrary, keeping a calm pace helps you observe more clearly and gives the other person space to show real investment, rather than just reacting in the moment. What you should do when you notice ambiguous signs is not to move forward or pull back immediately, but to stay steady. Continue behaving naturally, continue living your life, and let her actions speak for themselves. When you do not act from the fear of missing out, you maintain a strong position, not by controlling the situation, but by not pushing yourself into dependence. Remember that real attraction always leads to action, not just fleeting emotion. It shows up through time spent, priorities being made, and active efforts to create space for you in their life. If these things are not present, slowing down does not cost you anything. Instead, it protects you from false expectations and unnecessary disappointment. In the next video, I will talk about small but highly reliable signs. Signals that are often overlooked because they are not loud or obvious, yet they reveal genuine interest far more clearly than illusion-creating behaviors. This is a crucial follow-up that helps you keep a balanced perspective, not doubting everything, but also not deceiving yourself. If this video helped you see more clearly what once confused you, hit the like button to support the channel. Share it with anyone who might be in a similar situation, and subscribe so you do not miss upcoming content. Thank you for watching until the end, and hopefully from now on, you will no longer move forward based on unnecessary illusions.